Kevin Wheeler here at Mercy Sports Medicine with Dr. Brian Mahaffey. And Doctor, let's talk a bit about exercise, workouts, and supplements. Obviously big topics for young athletes. And let's start with the supplements. What are some of the most common things that people use, and what are the common mistakes people use in choosing the types of things they want to work on enhancing their performance?
Sure. Most people who will take supplements are looking for a quick fix. Probably the best supplement is working hard, working smart, and good nutrition. If you eat well, you're putting good gas in your tank, and that's the most important thing. Most people with supplements are trying to recover from poor nutrition. Creatinine is still one of the most common ones that we see used. Can it be effective? It can, but there are a lot of side effects, a lot of issues that can occur with that. And there's a lot of other ones that are unfortunately easily accessible on the internet that is essentially a quick fix. The large majority of them have no science behind it and tend not to work, and can actually increase your risk of having other issues such as heat, illness, dehydration, and other issues.
And that's for the ones you can buy over the counter, things that may not even be regulated by the FDA. We obviously know that the controlled substances, steroids, and those types of things have a little bit more attention, but these things that are not regulated are also something that you're talking about here.
And you're talking anything to the little packets at the convenience store to give you some energy. Those, if taken incorrectly and taken at all with certain age groups, and you're a little dehydrated, can cause you to have a racing heart, to not be able to compete, and lead you into some serious medical issues.
What about, again, using this especially for youth sports, what about energy drinks? What about those types of things for those kids you're talking about 18 and under?
I would tell people not to use them in any way, shape, or form. There are multiple studies that show that they can cause acute cardiac arrhythmias, which is an abnormal rhythm that can lead to you passing out or death. They have a large amount of caffeine and other things in there that are dehydrating. And a combination of that, not being in great shape, warm water and football pads can be highly fatal.
And obviously these young people are looking for edges, they're trying to compete, and we get a lot of questions about when to start doing certain exercises. So in addition to what supplements to avoid and what things to avoid, what about the actual exercises themselves? When should you start, for example, start lifting weights? Is there an age range, or are there some other guidelines?
There really isn't. What we talk about at Mercy Sports Medicine is move well, then move often. And so if you have a good movement pattern and you are doing things correctly, then you can start lifting weights at any age. You don't want to put a lot of weight. You don't want to max out. We don't believe in maxing out and finding that. We believe in slowly working that in and doing strength training and conditioning training in movements that you're going to do long term. If you isolate muscles, you train muscles to do things in one way, that whenever you go out on a football field, baseball field, basketball court, track, whatever you're going to be doing, those muscles are trying to work in a coordinated fashion with your other muscles. They're not going to work appropriately. So doing more full body exercises, doing more reps, lower weight, doing a lot more grip strength, doing a lot more core to where you're doing full body push-ups, doing those type of things, staying away from crunches, and doing more of the things in your posterior aspect can be very, very helpful. And not just what you see in the mirror.
And yeah, that's a good point. And what about other forms of conditioning? Running, cycling, longer distance swimming, but the things you would throw in there with, you know, the aerobic type exercise that kids need.
You know, most kids can go out and run and do fine with that until about age 12, because of your body surface and being lower. By doing distance running, you're much more susceptible to becoming dehydrated and overheating that much quicker. So doing 5, 10Ks, half marathons, less than age 12, I do not recommend it. And really marathons until you're about 18. But working into those things can be very appropriate to do. But again, you want to move well and move often is our concept. And most people forget how to move whenever they developed as a baby. They start sitting in class all the time, they lose their stability, their movement patterns, and that's what will get them in trouble faster than anything.
And is it fair to say that with all of those things, whether it's supplements that can be beneficial, any kinds of foods that you're going to put in there, and all of these exercises, to be careful and not overdo any one of them? Is that fair?
Absolutely. You know, if you're working hard, the analogy I give, if you're working hard and you're trying to turn into a Corvette, you don't want to put regular unleaded gasoline in it. You want to put premium gasoline in it. You have to feed the engine, and you have to make that engine more efficient in how it moves. And that's what's going to make you successful.